The Fox state regime media strikes again. So here's what went down. So on their morning shows like Maria Bartiromo, they were reporting, because it was a business show, that inflation is way up right now, exceeding anybody's expectations because of Donald Trump. So what Fox tries to do at first is just say, look, this is not Donald Trump's fault. It's just the bird flu. It's avian flu. Don't blame Donald Trump. But see, Trump gets pissed. He sees that. So then Donald Trump starts posting on social media, Biden inflation up. And then Donald Trump starts attacking the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, saying interest rates should be lowered, something which would go hand in hand with upcoming tariffs. Let's rock and roll, America. Then Fox has to change its entire coverage to just be like pure propaganda, which it was before. But then they have all these guests on like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, Stephen Miller, and they're all repeating the same line. This is what you voted for. This is what you want. Elon Musk is a genius. He's volunteering his time. Oh my gosh, this is what you want, America. We're doing it. We're shaking things up. Let me break down the anatomy of state regime media right now. So first, I want to show you that report from the morning where Maria Bartiromo and her panel have anxiety that the bird flu and related spike in egg prices could be, quote, another COVID crisis to greet Donald Trump. You see, they treat him like he's a little toddler. Oh, it's never Donald Trump's fault. Always the victim. Here, watch this.
Egg prices are soaring. Last week, the average wholesale price for large white shell eggs reached $8 for a dozen. This is wholesale. Retail, it's higher than this. The previous all-time wholesale price was $5.46 back in December 2022. How much are eggs retail right now?
Right now, probably $11, $12, $13, $14. Which ones you want? Brown eggs, you want free range eggs, et cetera, et cetera. But they're in the low teens right now.
I've never seen anything like that. Well, $14 for a dozen eggs.
They're killing the chickens.
Yeah.
And because of bird flu, right?
Because of bird flu. Now, let's ask the $64 trillion question. Is this another COVID crisis to greet President Trump?
Wow.
And we don't know that.
I'm getting anxiety already.
Put your finger in it. Tell us.
January 25th.
Okay, so that pisses Donald Trump off. So now Fox has to recalibrate its entire programming. So cue in Caroline Leavitt. I mean, she's just so utterly pathetic, isn't she? So then she goes on like Jesse Waters and she goes, these are monumental changes that the people wanted. People wanted monumental changes. We're giving it to them. Here, play this clip.
Again, the American people voted for this monumental change, and that's exactly what they're getting.
Okay, then they have Stephen Miller on, and Stephen Miller's like, he's looking more like a genius every day. This is genius. You see, this is so genius what we're doing. Here, watch this.
They look like fools, and Donald Trump looks more brilliant and more genius every single day as he's implementing his agenda, and it's working, and our lives are getting better by the minute.
Okay, next you then have Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, this is what we wanted. Everyone voted for this. Elon Musk raiding the government. We did it, America. Mission accomplished. So what they're trying to tell their zombified, right-wing fascist viewership, I guess, zombified, is that, oh, we want this? Oh, this is good. Like Pavlov. Oh, we like this. Here, play this clip.
I completely agree with you, Sean. Elon Musk is giving our entire country an inside look at the actual fraud, waste, abuse that's been going on for decades. And Americans are cheering and cheering and cheering. Everyone did vote for this. This is exactly what we voted for. This is what we campaigned for. And this is what President Trump promised to the American people.
Okay. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene goes even a step further. And she's like, and Elon Musk, we should be appreciative. This is a billionaire who's just volunteering his time. Here, play this clip.
With more, I'm actually very appreciative to Elon Musk, the smartest guy in the world, one of the richest guys in the world. It's volunteering to do this for our country and exposing their reckless spending and abuse of taxpayer dollars. I'm grateful for it.
I completely agree with you, Sean.
Really? It's just so nice, really. I mean, a guy who built his business off of government contracts, someone who is being investigated by mostly every single government agency for all of his misconduct. We then learned yesterday that Elon Musk's Tesla was likely going to get a massive government contract for like $500 million for Tesla armor vehicles. Okay, he's what a selfless individual. And the only funny thing, if you even want to call it that, was when Elon Musk's kid was cursing at Donald Trump. And I mean, like, what? He's going to be raising a kid just like him. But just seeing Donald Trump get cursed out by Elon Musk's kid saying, "You're not the effing president," and Donald Trump just like sat there and took it as like the ultimate powerless image. It was wild to watch. All right, so then get this. So then they have Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the governor of Arkansas. Now, she's the most wasteful governor in history. You've probably seen, I've done the lectern gate videos where she spent like $20,000 on a fake lectern, but ended up, I think, going to Paris with her friends. She spends all this money on this, like going to football, this taxpayer money, going to football games. She has these like PR, these like press conferences where she like lines up like all the cops behind her so she looks tough. Like she's the most wasteful person imaginable, while Arkansas ranks kind of just as low as Oklahoma does in areas of like education and wealth and like you name it, Arkansas is towards the bottom. And it's sad because Arkansas is a great state, and they could have like elected a rocket scientist, like a rocket scientist Democrat, an accomplished person who was running against her, and they chose her. But here's Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying, we have to stop this waste and we have to stop this fraud. Again, they're always just telling on themselves. Here's Huckabee Sanders. Let's play it.
We should be looking at all of the waste and the fraud. The president is spot on to go after all of these insane programs, get rid of them, and make sure we're actually using taxpayer money wisely. He has not stopped since the day he stepped into office, and I don't think he's going to over the next 4 years. I think that the Democrats are terrified at what all he's going to find. Maybe they're using this as a distraction. It's really the only thing I can think of that makes sense why they're continuing down this road.
Yeah, they definitely are acting guilty, like they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Real quick, because
then what does Jesse Waters need to do to, further kind of pump up the Fox zombified audience? He has to say basically, here comes the people who have weaponized the government against our victim. Our poor Donald Trump is trying to gut the government, and there are people standing up to him. What a victim. Here, play this clip.
this isn't revenge. It just so happens that the people who have weaponized the government against Trump are also the ones breaking the law.
And then Jesse Waters is like, Donald Trump, when I think of him, all that comes to my mind is a true humanitarian. Play this clip.
At all. And so Trump is, despite what people say about him, a true humanitarian. He places such a priority on human life. You got the Gaza hostages, you got the Russian hostages, you got the Venezuelan hostages, almost immediately. Mm-hmm. And remember what we did with Otto Warmberg. It's also the Maha movement. It's also fighting fentanyl. All of these things are about cherishing and saving human lives. And he doesn't get a lot of credit for that.
Then they bring in MAGA Republican Congress member Chip Roy, who basically says what we need to give Donald Trump the power for is the power of impoundment. Impoundment is illegal. What Trump's been trying to do is seize all of the, remember, Congress has the pocketbook. The power of the purse is in Congress. They've already appropriated money and passed laws that go to things. Impoundment, that word impoundment, it's what it sounds like. Impounding, taking the money and seizing it for himself, for Donald Trump. So Trump does what he wants, what he and Elon Musk, not where the laws say the money should go, right? The laws designate where the money should go. Trump wants to impound it. Here, let's play this clip.
But the president is right. He should stay the course. He has a constitutional right and duty to defend our tax dollars. Russ Vogt can use impoundment. We can do rescissions. And the president is not forced to spend every single dollar. He can do it the way he sees fit as the chief executive. Appreciate it very much.
Congressman Chip Roy, always interesting to talk to you. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us tonight. It's great to see you again.
I often get asked, what's the secret to how MeidasTouch has grown so fast? I said, it's easy. It's the community, the Meidas mighty number one. Then we have to make good content. Number three, we got to have the business behind the business, the nuts and bolts that make it all work. And we use Shopify here at the MeidasTouch Network. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's home of the number one checkout on the planet. And the not so secret with Shop Pay, it boosts your conversions by up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going down. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform, make it better today and sign up with Shopify. Join Shopify. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. So here's what you got to do. Upgrade your business the way we did. And I want you to head to shopify.com/Meidas. That's shopify.com/Meidas. Upgrade your selling today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period right here. If you go to shopify.com/Meidas, all lowercase, that's shopify.com/Meidas, and get that $1 per month trial period right now. Thanks, Shopify. Now, here's the thing I just want to remind you of. And again, let's set aside political parties for a second. If you want to do something, we live in a democracy. We're not a dictatorship, although Trump's turned it into an authoritarian regime already. But what you do is you pass a law. That's what you do. Trump controls, Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. So if you want to do something, just pass a law. And you could pass a law, shut down USAID, pass a law, shut down the Department of Labor, pass a law, enable Doge to do X, Y, and Z, pass a law, stop this, pass a law, do that. That's the way our system is supposed to work. But Trump and MAGAs want impoundment, give Donald Trump the power of the purse, and allow him to do whatever he wants and give him immunity. That's called a dictatorship. You could pass laws, but they don't want to do that. And you know why. Let me just share this with you as well, though, because I do want to give a shout out to our friend Jessica Tarlov. And she goes on Fox and she gives him some pushback. So it's good to see Jessica Tarlov. Here Jessica Tarlov is, and here she's talking about what Musk is doing. Play this clip.
Reaction when you hear that.
That sounds like a completely normal reaction to this. The problem isn't with Doge or the mission of Doge. Everyone remembers when it got announced, there were a bunch of Democrats who said, let me on the committee. You know, Jared Moskowitz,
That's right.
Sign me up. The problem is with what's actually happening. And if you look between the numbers, people are broadly supportive of Doge, even the Gen Z class, but Elon Musk only has a 31% approval rating with 18 to 29-year-olds and how he's executing this. And they can see the difference between chaos and actually creating efficiency. They're looking at a world in which hundreds of millions of dollars of aid is going to perish because they're blocking us sending it out. There was a story about a 71-year-old woman in Thailand who goes to a USAID hospital to get her oxygen treatments. She died because that hospital was cut off from their aid package. They're looking at lies that have been spread.
It's unfortunate that USAID wasted so much of their own money that they put themselves in this position.
USAID is about $40 billion. And you look at that in contrast.
That's a lot of money.
Well, it isn't when you look at the $4.5 trillion
no, it
in
is.
tax
No matter
cuts
how you look
Trump
at
is
it, $40 billion is a lot of money.
It's not. They want to take $2 trillion out in Medicare, in Medicaid, in SNAP benefits. They want to add $4.5 trillion in tax cuts, but they can't fund a hospital in Thailand so that woman can get her treatment.
Rich, let me get you in here.
And here Tarlov is again. Let's play it.
But the real issue here is that he's talking a big game about transparency, but he's not being transparent himself. This idea that Elon Musk shouldn't have to do financial disclosures like everybody else who's working in the government is ludicrous.
They're
the New York Times,
the Doge website.
Also, when you pull it up, it's empty right now. And President Trump said yesterday, oh, well, he doesn't need to do it. Caroline Leavitt has said he doesn't need to do it. The New York Times is reporting that at least 11 of the federal agencies that they have gone after have open complaints, over 32 open complaints into Musk's businesses. Don't the American people deserve to know? He has tens of billions of dollars in government contracts. If you are the Doge master, then open up your own books. That's part of the federal government. They are spending money on Elon Musk
Rich,
and all of this technology.
It's good to see Tarlov, fighting there. And while all of this is going on as well, Russia's stock market soaring today as America's stock market was doing horribly. And then you've got people like Elon Musk, who's out there attacking judges. This evil judge must be fired. And then this guy, Andy, goes, Judge John Bates is the same judge who presided over Matt Perna, one of the 5 January 6 defendants who unalived themselves. John Bates needs to be fired. Okay. Federal Judge John Bates, senior judge in Washington, D.C., appointed by George W. Bush. I know he made one of those rulings that said, what Judge Bates ruled was that the websites for HHS, FDA, NIH, and a few other agencies, they needed to be restored. So for that, and people depend on those things for their life. But for that, MAGA was going after him. Now, let me just share with you one final thing because, it's not on Fox, but I think it's worth it to see John Bolton on CNN. He used to go on Fox more when he was Trump's national security advisor. But here he talks about how what Donald Trump did with Russia yesterday in the Oval Office, basically saying that he was not okay with Ukraine becoming in NATO, that Trump was going to go visit Putin, blaming Ukraine for Russia's unlawful invasion, saying that the borders should not be what they were pre-2014 in Ukraine. I mean, just total capitulation. And so John Bolton's like, so literally before the negotiation, you're giving Putin everything he wants. That's called surrender. Here, play this clip.
On your point that you just made about not having Ukraine be in NATO, borders returning to what they were pre-2014, which Hegs had said was off the table. If a Trump official was here tonight and they argued, well, that's just being realistic, what would you say to that?
I'd say that if you're going into a negotiation, you don't announce what's acceptable to you before it begins and give away positions. I tell you, I've done a lot of negotiation with the Russians, and there's no country out there that's better at pocketing concessions that you make and then wanting more. We used to joke in Soviet arms control days about a famous Russian negotiator who used to greet the Americans every morning with a jovial, well, what have you got for me today? And that's what we're hearing from Russia. This is something Putin prepared the ground for. Last week he said he agreed with Trump that in the comments Trump had made in the election that the war never would have taken place had Trump been president. So he began the flattery campaign, the release of Mark Fogel, the American hostage, part of the flattery warm-up campaign, make Trump look like the center of attention. Belarus's decision to release an American and a couple others, part of the flattery campaign. It's obviously working.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think about, you saw that strategy what Fox did starting in the morning, and then you see the brainwashing that they do over and over and over again. Hit subscribe, help us get to 4 million subscribers. Thank you for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.